Namaskar students. Today we are here to discuss about the human nervous systems, which is under Unit 5 Body Structure and Life Processes of Grade 9 Science and Technology. Dear students, all of you be ready with your book, copy, pen, pencil, eraser, etc. Are you ready? Yes. Before this, that means in the previous class also, we discussed about the human nervous system. Then what you learned from that? Which parts we have learned? Yes, we have learned about the central nervous system. In that central nervous system also, we learned about the brain. Then what are the parts of brain, dear students? Can you say? Yes, cerebrum, cerebellum and brainstem, main three parts. In that, cerebrum is the largest part, cerebellum is the small part, yeah, and medulla oblongata is the main part which control the involuntary action. We have learned these things. Yes, today we learn about the spinal cord. That means the next part of the central nervous system. What are the parts of central nervous system we have learned? There are two parts, that is brain and spinal cord. We learn about the brain. Today just we discuss about the spinal cord. What is spinal cord and how it is, then from what it is made up of, those things we learn today. See, this is human nervous system. In this there is brain, spinal cord which forms the central nervous system. Then there is peripheral nervous system also. Today we discuss about this peripheral nervous system too. Okay, where is spinal cord located and from where it starts? Okay, just let's see. This is spinal cord and in this model of brain, this is the, I hope you have also made the brain, yeah? In previous class, I told you to make the model of the brain by using clay, yeah? On that, this is last part. I have just a small part here I have kept. This is what? This is the starting of what? This is the starting of spinal cord. Just from below the medulla oblongata, it starts. And this spinal cord extend up to the second lumbar vertebrae in a west region. In this west region, we have 5 lumbar vertebrae. Out of that, it reaches up to second lumbar vertebrae, which start from where? From medulla oblongata to the west bones, that means lumbar vertebrae, up to second lumbar vertebrae through the vertebral column. It is protected inside the vertebral column. Okay, so this is the spinal cord is just, it is very delicate. It is just like a jelly, very delicate, and it is also made up of neuron. It is also made up of neuron. And in this spinal cord, there are various parts also. That means what is the main functions it performs, that also we discussed today. This spinal cord, just like in the brain, it is also made up of grey matter and white matter. Okay, it is also made up of grey matter and white matter, but here just opposite of brain. In case of brain, grey matter is outside, white matter is inside. But in case of spinal cord, white matter is in outer part and grey matter is in inner part, which is, that means especially grey matter is made up of axons of the neuron. And this spinal cord is also covered with meninges, just like brain. In brain we have discussed 3 layers of the meninges, yeah? Here also this is also covered with meninges. Then if we see the length of this, it is about 45 centimeter long and 2 centimeter diameter. Diameter is less, but that means the length is very long. That means it start from here, no? From medulla oblongata to where? From head to tail, no? That's why it is very long. And what are the functions of spinal cord? Spinal cord perform various functions. Just it is a part of central nervous system. It helps to communicate, or it used to connect different parts of the body with the brain. That means in the lower part there are various organs like heart, lungs, kidney, hands, legs and genital organs. There are various organs in our body. These cannot be directly connected to the brain. So, to connect them with the brain, this spinal cord play a very important role. Okay. So, it communicates the organs with the brain, and also it also perform the other functions, like it act as a center for the reflex action. Okay, what is reflex action? Suppose if I throw this pen towards you, what will you do? Just you go behind, you blink your eyes, but it is not said by your brain. Just simply, suddenly you will show the reaction. This is the stimuli, that is external agent which causes some irritation in your body, that is called stimuli. Towards the stimuli, your body shows the reaction. Okay, so this is called reflex action, sudden action shown by the muscles or our body under the guidance of our spinal cord, that is called reflex action. Okay, this reflex action, for example, if you are walking on the dark place, you are not seeing anything in front, and suddenly you step on a ice, what will you do? Yes, obviously you will take out your legs and you will cry also. Yeah, you will shout, oh so cold, and you will take out your leg. That is also reflex action. You are walking on the road, suddenly some pin is pricked in your leg, what will you do? Yes, you will just take out your leg and you will shout. That is also reflex action. And this all the reflex action or all those activities are controlled by the spinal cord. So this is called center for reflex action. And this spinal cord also helping us, that means if there is any injury occur in the spinal cord, it is controlling the other voluntary actions of our legs, etc. also. Sometimes if there is injury occur in the spinal cord, there may be the paralysis of the legs, disability in the movement. So this is also very important organ of the central nervous system. Now there is only central nervous systems cannot connect with the other organs. Already we have discussed in the previous class also. There are some nerves which are arising from the central nervous system to form a peripheral nervous system. Then what are those nerve fibers? What do you mean by nerve fiber? Okay. See here in this picture we can see there is central nervous system from your brain, then spinal cord. From there are different nerves are arising and they are going to different part of our body, connecting the different organs. These that means thin fiber like structure which are made up of neurons, those are called nerve fibers. Okay, these nerve fibers are of again different types. These nerve fibers act as a messengers. They transmit the impulses or the electric signals from one part of the body to the another part of the body. So this, based on their function, these are classified into three types based on the functions and location also. These nerve fibers are classified into 3 types. What are those? Efferent or sensory nerve fibers, and efferent or motor nerve fibers, and interneuron. See in this picture, see here there is a skin, is it? This is the part of skin from which the one nerve is arising. Okay, this is called sensory neuron, and there is a neuron which is between these two neurons. See, another neuron is connected to the muscles. Okay, the neuron which is connected to the muscle, that is called motor neuron, and in between this sensory neuron and motor neuron there is another connecting neuron. This connecting neuron is called interneuron. Okay, in detail we discuss about what is afferent neuron or the sensory neuron, or efferent nerve or sensory nerve. Just what is efferent or sensory nerve? For example, if I touch a very hot body like this, okay, there is very hot object, I am touching it. My finger, in the tip of my finger, there is a skin, yeah. In this skin, there are nerve endings. Okay, these nerve endings will receive that. Those nerve endings which receive that stimulus, that is called receptors. Okay, and from this it will pass to my spinal cord. Okay, through what? Sensory nerve or efferent nerve. So we can call that those nerves or the neurons which transmit the impulses or any messages, you can say, or electrical impulses we say, those from receptor or the affected organ to the central nervous system or spinal cord, that is called efferent nerve or sensory nerve. See here in this picture, just from the tip of the finger, it is transmitting the impulses towards the central part of central nervous system, either brain or spinal cord. Those are called efferent or sensory nerve. Next, again, what is happening? Just I touched, I felt very hot. Yeah, that sense is given by our central nervous system. Then our central nervous system analyze that what is happening in our different organs. Then it will control or it will give some information to the muscles which are related to this organ. For example, if it my finger, then it will give the message to the muscles which are present in my hand. Just contract. Okay, when the central nervous system says the contract, then this muscle will contract. Then I will remove my hand from those hot bodies. So that information, those motor information are carried out by, again there is a motor nerves which are reached to the muscles. See here, from central to the this, that is called motor nerve. Okay. So this efferent or motor nerve, what it does? It just passes the motor information or the information given by the central nervous system to the muscles. Now, what does interneuron do? Where it is located? It is present in the central nervous system, either spinal cord or brain. Then it transmits the sensory impulses to the motor impulses. That means what information is coming from the affected organ, it will analyze, it will then what should be done at that moment, it will decide and pass that information to that muscles. In that way, it will perform the work. Okay, that is called interneuron. Next, just what we have learned here, just take this now figure I have shown. Yeah, here which is the, can you identify which one is the sensory nerve, which one is the motor nerve, and which one is the interneuron here in this figure? Yes, which one? Which is from, this is the skin, yeah, here is a small hairy outgrowth is shown. This is skin. Skin to the where? Central nervous system. This is spinal cord. Yeah, it is passing. This is called what? This Number 2, yeah, this is sensory neuron. And another one, motor nerve. Which one is the motor nerve? Number 5 is the motor nerve. And which one is the interneuron? Yes, this number 3. Very good. This is about the different types of nerves or the neurons. These 3 types of nerves, or these mainly 2 types of nerves, that is sensory nerves and motor nerves, form the peripheral nervous system. Now, what is peripheral nervous system? Next part of our human nervous system is peripheral nervous system, and what are the different parts and what are the different nerves which are making this peripheral nervous system. In the peripheral nervous system, especially there are 2 types of nerves, that is motor nerves and sensory nerves, but based on the location from where they are arising, again they are classified into different types. Okay, that means peripheral nervous system means what? Can you say? Just we have discussed in the previous class also, just now also we have discussed. What is that? Those nerve fibers which connect our different part of the body, even our sense organs and other body parts to the central nervous system. That is called peripheral nervous system. Even our sense organs also comes under the peripheral nervous system. Okay, in this peripheral nervous system, there are sense organs and motor nerves, sensory nerves, etc. are formed. Okay, now this peripheral nervous system is mainly have 2 parts based on their origin. What are those? That is cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves means those nerves which are arising from our brain region. See here, this is the brain. From this brain there are many nerve fibers are arising which are connected to our sense organ, even eyes, nose, tongue, ear, even other part of our head region. Okay, those are called cranial nerves. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and these cranial nerves communicate between the sense organs which are present in our head region. What are those? Eye, nose, tongue, ear, skin also, yeah, and other different parts of the body. Now, what are spinal nerves? Next part of the central nervous system, that is spinal nerve, yeah, spinal cord. From the spinal cord also many motor neurons or the motor nerves and sensory nerves are coming out. Those nerves are called spinal nerves here. As they are arising from the spinal cord, these are called spinal nerves. There are 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Okay, there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves which communicate between the, that means different organs of our body like lungs, heart, kidney, and there are digestive system, parts of digestive system, genital organs, legs, hands, all are connected to the central nervous system with the help of these spinal nerves. That means especially just like just now I have told you, while touching hot body also it is passing the impulses, yeah, connecting our hand to the central nervous system. Now, what is reflex action? Already I have told you, in the that means spinal cord carries the reflex action with the help of peripheral nervous system. Just now I told you, yeah. How does this reflex action occurs? Already I have given one example, yeah. Here what happens if we accidentally touch something, yeah, that means which is not suitable to our body. It is very hot body, very cold body, or it is creating pain in our body, or someone pinch you. At that time also there is painful, yeah. Then what you do? Suddenly if you are unconsciously, without knowing, if somebody pinch you, what you do? Your hand will goes to his or her cheek, yeah. That is also reflex action. So if something going to fall in your eye, at that time also you will blink your eye, yeah. And if suddenly you step in a nail, that time also, yeah, these all are the reflex actions. This reflex action, what are the steps on how does reflex action? Just once see here in the figure, just we have discussed many examples. Here say there is stimulus, that means some hot body, light, something, etc. Okay, this receptor will receive that stimulus and pass to the central nervous system through sensory nerve. Okay, and in the spinal cord there is interneuron. This interneuron analyze and give some information to the affected muscles through the motor neuron. At that time it forms an arc-like structure. See, here it is forming a arc-like structure. This arc is called reflex arc. Okay, what is there? Sensory nerves, connector, that means interneuron or connector nerves, and motor nerves form a arc-like structure. This arc-like structure is called reflex arc. That means it is a way of performing reflex action from receptor to the, that means receptor to the spinal cord through the sensory nerve, and from spinal cord to the affected muscles through the motor neuron, motor nerve, it will form a arc that is called reflex arc. Then there is one example, that means while touching hot body, how this is happening. Here receptor, a thin nerve ending that receive the environmental changes. Another one is sensory nerve that carries the information from receptor to the spinal cord or the brain, and connective nerve which coordinate that means it is a coordinating nerve between the sensory nerve and motor nerve, and finally motor nerve which brings the information to the affected muscles. These are the different parts. Now next part of the nervous system. How many parts we have learned from the human nervous system? 2 parts. What are those? Central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Last part is autonomic nervous system. What is autonomic nervous system? Yes? How do you know you are hungry? How do you know you are thirsty? That means you are feeling thirst. How? And sometimes we laugh aloud. Sometimes we become very emotional and we cry. Is it? And suddenly you have seen tiger coming towards you. What happens? Suddenly your blood pressure will increase very high, yeah? And sometimes we shout. Yes, these are unconsciously we are doing. Even we are sleeping also, our digestion is going on. If we are, that means waking also, our digestion is going on. If we are sleeping, that time also there is respiration, there is blood circulation. Yes, while awaking also, we feel these things. That means the functions of the involuntary functions of our body, different functions of our different organs which are not under our control, those are controlled by this autonomic nervous system. Then what forms the autonomic nervous system? Just see in this figure. This is, what is this? This is the, what? This is spinal cord, yeah. And just parallel to the spinal cord, what is there? There are ganglia. See, just like if we see the simple figure, yeah, here, it is forming the central nervous system, is it? And from this, we have already seen there are different cranial nerves and spinal nerves. They are forming the peripheral nervous system. And just parallel to this spinal cord, what is this? This is brain, yeah, and this is spinal cord. Now these are the peripheral nervous system. These fibers forming the peripheral nervous system. And just parallel to this, there are the just knot-like structures which are formed by the different nerves like this, knots. In this way, group of nerves forming like this, parallel to this spinal cord. Okay, and these all are connected with the small nerve fibers like this. Yes, and small nerve fibers are arising like this. Yes, this is autonomic nervous system. Okay, see, this autonomic nervous system is not the part of central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. It is separately present in the nervous system, and it performs its own function also. That means this autonomous nervous system performs its own function. What is that? All the involuntary actions of our body. What are those involuntary actions? Like heart function. Can you control your heartbeat? No. And similarly, the continuously kidney purifying our blood and filtering the waste. Yeah, that also controlled by this autonomic nervous system. Do you always continuously laughing and laughing? No. So these all are controlled by this autonomic nervous system. In this, there are, again, this is divided into two parts. What are those two parts? Okay. What are those two parts? Can you say? Yes, those are sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Whole autonomous nervous system is divided into two parts, that is sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. In this sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, they used to work alternatively. That means just opposite function. One increases, another control. That means one brings in the excited state, another control and bring into the ground state. For example, you are very angry. Can you be angry forever? No. That means for some time you become very angry. Yeah. Then that at that time that means sympathetic nervous system control that. And when you are in a very anger state, again the parasympathetic nervous system control that angerness and bring into the ground state. That means you become normal. Similarly, while laughing, crying, etc. We never laugh continuously, we never cry continuously, just we calm down and become normal. So they are, that means they are working simultaneously, but one in a opposite way. One increases, another decreases. Here sympathetic nervous system, that means help our body to face the emergency situations also. Okay, just now I have given you the example when tiger facing you, that means you are facing a tiger. At that time your heartbeat increases. Yes, your blood pressure increases. But at that time which system is working? Sympathetic nervous system. And simultaneously parasympathetic nervous system bring you down, calm down. That means in this way they are working together. And function of heart, lungs, it will increases. Another part again, that means it increases the power of our different organs and protect us from the different emergency situation, this sympathetic nervous system. Next one is parasympathetic nervous system. What does it do? Just already I have discussed you, this parasympathetic nervous system control the action of sympathetic nervous system, bringing up, and this parasympathetic nervous system bringing down. In this way, that means it controls the heartbeat, it controls the blood pressure and bring it to the normal. Next, that means our breathing, another one is the size of the blood vessels also controlled by this autonomic nervous system. Today we discussed about the peripheral spinal cord, peripheral nervous system, and also we discussed about the autonomic nervous system. Just recall it, what you have learned. Okay, first one is what you have learned today, spinal cord. What is there? The outer surface is made up of gray matter, inner surface is made up of white matter, is it? No, it is made up of, that means outer surface is made up of white matter and inner surface is made up of grey matter. And similarly, we have learned about the different nerve fibers. What are those nerve fibers? Those are sensory or afferent nerves, motor or efferent nerves, then interneurons or connecting neurons. These all neurons are helping us to transmit the information from one part of the body to the another part of the body. And we also learn about the reflex action. There are different examples of reflex actions also we have learned. How does reflex action is carried out by the help of these three nerves we have learned. And what are the different, what is peripheral nervous system? Already you know what is peripheral nervous system. It is connecting central nervous system with the other part of the body, yeah. And the central nervous system again divided into two parts. What is that? Cranial nerves and spinal nerves. How many pairs of cranial nerves were there? 12 pairs. And how many pairs of spinal nerves? 31 pairs. Then we learn about the autonomic nervous system. What are the two types of autonomic nervous system? Sympathetic and parasympathetic. In this way, we have completed the human nervous system. Even in the previous class also, we have learned about the brain. So, with this, we complete the whole human nervous system. Now, let's check some questions. That means we recall it through this question also. Which nerve carries information from different part of the body to the brain? Can you answer? There are different options are given. Motor nerve, sensory nerve, ganglia and connecting nerves. There are different parts. That means which nerve carries information from different parts of the body to the brain? Which one? Yes? Motor nerve, sensory nerve. Which one? Very good. It is sensory nerve. Already we have learned that means from different part of the body, it brings the information to the brain. Which part of the nervous system controls involuntary action? Which one? Central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, autonomic nervous system or spinal cord? Which one? Yes, very good. This is autonomic nervous system. Today we discussed about the different parts of nervous system. Yes, I hope all of you learn many things from this lesson or from this class, and all of you draw the central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system separately, label it, and all of you practice the model to make the model by using the local materials available in your surrounding. This class we stop here. Thank you very much.